Hey, what's going on everybody? GundamFlexing here. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the just completed high-grade iron-blooded orphans, the 144 Gundam Vidar. Now, out of all the IBO kits I've built, to include the 1100s, I would say this is by far my favorite. And before we go into the model itself to explain why, let me go over the extra PC caps, the sticker sheet, and the extra pieces that you don't see on display right now. Looking at the extra PC caps, this is all the extra ones you get. Really just get an extra 4 and the entire set for number 8. Nothing too special. Looking at the sticker sheet, here are all the stickers, and believe me, it's a lot, but it's not difficult to apply. Now you see where my thumb's at. These gray stickers actually go along the upper rib cage, I guess that's what you'd say. I found that it wasn't really necessary to use these. It was a little bit of a nuisance to put it on. As you see, I attempted it the first time, couldn't really do it, so I just used a Gundam marker and it went well. The white pieces here aren't any issues. The pieces for the rifle aren't any issues. And around here are most likely his shoulders and for his arms. And the bottom of his hand, that's where you get these shapes here. And none of it is too difficult to apply. Now, unfortunately, there aren't any decals with this model, but it's okay. Here, for whatever reason, you also get extra hands. Now, these hands are supposed to be the special ones where it comes in at an angle joint, which is a little peculiar because instead of just putting that in the original hands you see in the model, I would rather prefer just to have an open set of hands. Where it's more expressive, like an open hand, like a high five almost. Something where it's a little bit dynamic for the pistols. But yes, these hands do come in at the joint and they do come in an angle, so whenever you use the burst saber, which is currently right here without the handle, you'll be able to put it in some sort of thrusting motion. But you get it for both hands. And speaking of the thrust saber, this is it. His handle is actually in the model you see right there. Unfortunately, you don't actually have a mount to put the saber in, so whenever you put the saber handle on top of one of his holsters, you have to actually take this out and it will just be an extra piece. But this is one solid piece. So there is no connecting the two pieces at once. It's just one elongated piece, and here it is. Actually, let's see if we could take it out. Take his holster out, take his hand off it, come right there, before he falls, and it just goes in like this. The saber handle is actually two pieces. You get the hand protection here, and then you get the handle right here. So that's pretty cool. And for the last two pieces that you don't see on the kit, or you don't see on display, are these two 9mm looking pistols. Now, these may be small, but I have to say that these are probably by far one of my favorite weapon systems in all Gunpla. I mean, these things look so badass, they're so cool, and believe it or not, they're a single piece each, so there is no left piece, right piece put in the muzzle, none of that. You just cut them right out of the frame, and you remove the little nubs, and there you go. I think this is so cool, and I wish there were more options like this instead of the rifles. It just reminds me so much of like the movie The Matrix or even Equilibrium, especially in terms of some of his posing where he just bends down and just shoots both ways. It's pretty cool. Yes, by far these are my favorite weapon systems. I wish more Gunpla had these kind of weapon systems, and I think it really makes your posing super dynamic, super interesting, and it just gives it a little nice flair. Like that. And those are all the extra pieces that are not displayed on this kit right here. So, looking at the Gundam Vidar, yes, there were a lot of stickers, but none of it's really, again, too difficult to put in. We look at his helmet, we look at his head, his eyes are pink, and he has a sticker in the center of his V-fin. Believe it or not, his V-fin does come in one piece. You get the face mask, you get the side of the head, and there it is. Let's look at the back. You also have a sticker at the back of this case that lines the center of the head. Look at his collar. His collar is white and it does come in a separate piece. And as tradition with all or most, the vast majority of IBO kits, you have that V-frame, so extremely skinny waist. The armor on top of his chest, the armor plating right here, the indentions on his chest, to include his shoulders, are pretty deep. So you don't need to have some Yamaha, you don't have to have panel lining ink. You could just use a panel lining marker and just go in. It's really simple. To include the triangle, which I'm surprised that they didn't come with a sticker for a triangle, but it's all good. Right there. His chest, his upper body comes in several pieces, mostly the chest plate, then you get the white, and then you get the left piece in the back, or the front piece that's underneath the chest plating, and then you get the back piece. We look at his back. This is his reactor. Ooh, this is his reactor, and the red strip that you see in the center, I'll put that in right here. Now that's a sticker. The reactor is really just two pieces, the left piece and right piece, and I guess you could count the third, but it's a piece in of itself, and I don't really consider it part of the reactor. It's more like periphery. And then you got these two wings that fit on a ball joint as such, and they do come out a tad bit easy. So whenever you put it in, just know that you're not going to hear a snap. You're just going to have to trust that you placed it in deep enough and to not wobble it, or to push it in such an angle that it will force to come out like such. It's very easy to pop out. The wings have stickers right there, the white side right there and there. There you go. We look at his waist. It's unfortunate, but his waist is static. These two pipes right there, they do not move in or out. They do not extend, just like the other IBO kits, but it is on a ball joint, so you could just twist it left and right as such. Looking at his shoulders, both his shoulders here on top, where the grays, now those are stickers, and fortunately you're given enough slack where it covers all the parts, so you don't have to use your Gundam markers unless if you really want to. And again, the indentions where you panel line is the same as the back, excuse me, and they are deep. He even has side flaps on his shoulders right there. You can push it in, there it is, and you can push it out, preferably out, because the side flaps, if you push them in too far, your arm won't be able to extend so far. Now we look at his arm. There it is. There's even piping systems in his wrist. And here you have another sticker right here where my thumb's at. That's another sticker, as well as the piece down there. That's another sticker. And then it also goes down and extends as such around his wrist. Now again, the stickers aren't an issue. You'll be able to put that in very easily. There it is. And you have like a back plating right here, where it shows a little bit more detail with the piping system right there. No issues with that. His arms are quite maneuverable. They are on a ball joint, and you are given enough space if you look between the shoulder and the chest, where you could extend his arms or even contract them if you want. Looking at his other arm, now this is his beam rifle right there. It only comes in two pieces. Left piece and the right piece. You can see where the line splits down the center. The muzzle is not a piece of itself, and of course you have the pink lens right there. Nothing really too special about this weapon system. It's very plain, very basic. The clip's not even a single piece by itself. There it is. But it is easy to put in. All the weapon systems, you do not need to take the hands apart and put them in. Here's the handle. You just slide it in, and the same with the pistols. So the pistols might be a tad bit difficult because the handle is a little bit bigger, but here's a pistol and you just slide it in. And man, I really love these pistols. It's just phenomenal. There it is. Put that back in there. Now we look at the waist. Front part of the skirt, you see two stickers. This little top blue armor cover here has a little indentation so you could even panel line. And what I also like is that if you notice the details right here. He has two pistols that are part of the skirt, but it's just details that are holstered behind it. And I think that is pretty sick. I'm pretty sure those are pistols. The handle looks very similar to the ones right here. So right here and here. So he is pretty armed. And right here, the side flaps, or they're not really side flaps, they're more the saber holsters. You see the individual sabers in there. Now those three sabers, actually all six of them, right here and here, are mounted on the side, and those are not separate pieces. So I originally thought it'd be cool if you get like your saber and then you push it in and then you could pull a saber out. That would be sick. However, all three of these sabers are connected to each other. Now I thought about cutting them apart, but they are also being held up by another piece. So if you were to cut one out and put one in, this thing would sink so far in that it won't be able to reach, and it'll just be jingling in there. So unfortunately, that's an opportunity lost, unless if you could probably customize the plastic yourself, in which case I bet you could definitely make it work out. But you get two of these, and they come with like 3 sabers each, because I'm assuming he's going to break a lot of them in fights. And these are also mounted on a ball joint. Oh, excuse me, they're mounted on not a ball joint, but an elongated piece right here, and then you just put it in as such, and you can twist them, turn them around. Makes it look like he has more wings, more fins. Pretty cool. There it is. And that white piece is a sticker piece. There it is. We look at his legs. Noticeably that he has 2 thrusters, one at the kneecap, and combine his legs for both. Now he also has like blue armor covering right here on top of his thighs. You could panel line that. Then above his kneecaps, you got little 2 indentions here on each side. You could panel line that. And then you get to his feet, and of course you could panel line whatever indentions you want. Now the box art says that these feet could extend such. So you could pretty much use his feet as like some sort of mad shark tornado kick roundhouse thing right there. It's supposed to be sharp and jagged, so you could just really just drop kick someone and just stab the crap out of you. There it is. Now what's interesting about these feet, it's like whenever you put it all back together, this is it. This is the thickness of the blades, and it sort of reminds me of posing a gunpla that's wearing high heels. Because notice how high his heels technically are. And it makes it a tad bit difficult for posing. You're going to have to be very cognizant of his ankle mobility and flexibility right there. Not bad. But overall, it's not too difficult. The feet were easy to build. It's only a couple pieces. You get the blades, then you get the blue piece there, the blue piece here, his heels, whatever, and then the internal system is just 2 gray pieces. I also like the piping system behind his legs as such. So pretty much it reminds me of like an exoskeleton, and you just add in a ton of accessories and a ton of armor. There it goes, right? Meow. Just try to make him flex. Yeah. As such. Boom. And again, you have a lot of opportunities for panel lining. It really makes the details stand out. Now, for my rating system. For the design, I would give it a 5 out of 5. The design is phenomenal. You have a ton of accessories. Even the rifle here could be mounted to the side here. And of course you could mount it on either side, because there is an indentation on both pieces here, right here, and then on this side, and simply you could put the rifle on either side you want as such, and it's actually in there pretty good right there. And again, you can even put the sabers in any of the slotting you want. It goes in very nicely. There's even pistols at his front skirt to make it look like he even has more. You got a lot of opportunities to panel line. There's stickers, but they're not too difficult to put in, thank God. Now, for the details, again, I don't have to go into too much details, but I would give that a 5 out of 5. For the build, I would also give that a 5 out of 5, and it would be a solid 5 out of 5. I didn't spend a lot of time with this kit, unlike some other kits, sanding and removing nubs. for whatever reason, whenever this plastic is cast, especially the gray pieces, they are so soft that when you cut it, it's clean. It's very clean, and when there are nubs to remove, you just have to swipe it once, and you don't leave like these little white marks, and you're going to have to get like a hair dryer and just heat up the piece and then try to remove the white marks by sort of rubbing the plastic around. That's solid 5 out of 5. The price, I think for what you get for around $12 to $13, the price is 5 of 5. You cannot beat this price. If you pay more than $15 for this kit, I think you're going to get ripped. This kit is priced around $10 to $13 to include shipping and handling on Amazon. And for posing, because you're given so much weapons, this kit does not have any mobility issues whatsoever. You're giving these 2 awesome pistols. I'm just going to hold it like a first-person shooter real quick. I'm going to hold it like a first-person shooter. Right there, alright? You're given 2 awesome pistols. I mean, you could pose him like any gun kata way you want. 5 out of 5. Which gives the Gundam Vidar a solid score of 1/100%, depending on the way you look at it. So far, this means it is the highest ranking high-grade kit, the highest ranking IBO kit thus far, because it's also my first. Well, that's all I have for this review, guys. If you have any questions or comments, post it down in the section below and I'll get right to them. Again, I appreciate you all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next Gunpla video. Peace out.